Hello, friends. Oh, this is got some sound on it. So many brushes, all the brushes. Are you guys ready? It is time to go back to school. It's time for tool school. We're going to talk about brushes. Hello. As you guys hop on, say hey. Drop a little emoji below. Say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how we know each other. I know that I've got a lot of helpers tonight, making sure that this video gets shared, which is super amazing. And if you find value in this, or if you know anyone who needs to learn a little bit more about all this mess, all this awesomeness, then do feel free to hit that share button, share that video. I super appreciate it. My name is Beth Griffin, and as you guys hop on, say hello, hi. Let me know where you're watching from. We're gonna talk about brushes, you guys. Brushes. Let me adjust this just a little bit. Hello from Northern California. Guys, as you are hopping on, I'd love to know, just because this video is being shared all over the place, I'd like to know how we met or how we know each other. And if you are brand new to everything that is Beth Griffin, because there's a lot going on over here, that's okay. You can say you're brand new around these parts. Totally cool. I hope that you enjoy this first experience because it's going to be an educational one. I have quite a bit to share with you guys. So as you hop on, let me know how we met or how we know each other. Yes, I love Social Marketplace. Such an awesome group. Hi, Cheryl. I'm going to give you guys tons of information, but like I said, and as you saw, there are a lot of brushes. Hey, Sarah. It's so good to see all you guys. This is going to be so much fun. I want to start by giving a shout out and a huge thank you shout out to my TAs, my teacher's assistants. If you are in my group, I have a group here on Facebook called Chrysalis Beauty Collaborative, where we talk about all kinds of wonderful things. And if you are a member of that group, you know what I'm talking about. So if you're one of my teaching assistants tonight, thank you for being a TA. And if you don't know what that is and you like free makeup and you want to know more about it, you can join my group and find out. I will pin or whatever post, I'll do something when this is over up above so that you can find the group if you're not there already. My husband is totally awesome. That is true stuff, Brianna. So thank you to all my teaching assistants. As you guys hop on, let me know how we met, how we know each other. I am so excited for more Miss Jess this year. I was just talking about how awesome Miss Jess is with some moms at the park today. Our daughters are in the dance class with like the coolest dance teacher of all time. She's magical. So lots of brushes, so much to cover, right, you guys? Right off the bat, I want to let you know this is a 4-part workshop. So I'm going to break this down for you guys in 4 sections starting tonight, right now, 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. We're going to continue with part 2 on Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. and then we'll finish up the second 2 parts of this workshop next week. So when you're looking at all this, don't worry. We're going to break it down into components that are really, really easy for you guys to understand, process, retain, and then I'll package it all together so it's really easy for you to find anytime if you need to come back later to soak up the knowledge, okay? So we're breaking it into 4 parts. Here are the 4 parts, starting with tonight. Tonight we're going to start with eyes with a set of brushes that I call the classics. These 4 brushes that I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight are the 4 eyeshadow brushes that I started out with. Thank you so much, Abigail. I appreciate that. So the 4 brushes I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight, eyes, part 1, the classics, are the 4 eyeshadow brushes that I started out with. Everything that I do is completely self-taught. People ask me all the time if I'm going to ever, you know, take some fancy classes and get my makeup artistry, what have you. No, I'm not. Because I feel it's really, hi mom, it's really important for me to show you guys that if I can learn how to do this on my own and I can do it myself, so can you. Really and absolutely, truly, okay? So I'm gonna start tonight in this 4-part workshop with the 4 brushes that I started out using at first before I knew anything about eyeshadow or anything else. We'll continue with part 2 on Sunday, right here, Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. with eye brushes part 2, and I like to call that the next level. So for now, we'll start with eye brushes part 1, the classics, and I'm going to share with you guys 4 brushes tonight. I'm going to show you what they are, and then we're going to talk a little bit before we jump into each brush. Before we, blast, I just realized I left my water downstairs. Okay, don't worry. That's all the, hey Stephanie, all the more reason for me to be efficient and concise, right? So that I don't get totally dehydrated. So the 4 brushes that I'm going to talk to you about tonight are the liner shader, the angled brush. Are you guys ready for this? This is called the Angle Brush Sponge Brush. But if you saw my post earlier today, you might know what happened to this brush this afternoon. This is now the Angle Brush. My dog ate it. So there was a sponge on the end of this that I'm still going to talk about, but it's gone. But in the spirit of Tim Gunn, who has inspired me in so many ways, we're going to make it work. And I'm still going to talk about it, even though, can you see the teeth marks on this? My dog didn't eat my homework. She ate my tool school. So Angle Brush used to be a sponge brush. The Deluxe brush, which is this beautiful C-shaped, soft, lovely brush right here. And then the brow and lash brush combo. Those are the 4 brushes I am going to give you guys a breakdown on tonight, tell you about how you can use them, tell you about why they are fabulous to have in your collection, and just give you a little overall information. Do you guys have dogs? Does anybody have a dog who's eaten some important SHIT before? Because I'm telling you, I got home from a play date at the park, had all my stuff lined up and ready to rock, and was like, hey, this brush is great. This is very sad. Right there, all right? You know, throw up those hearts if you know what I'm talking about. She's eaten a lot of things, I'm telling you. This was the moment earlier today. So first and foremost, I want to let you guys know that in every single one of these 4 workshops, tonight, continuing Sunday night at 7:30, and then into next week, every single time, I'm going to talk to you guys about the importance of caring for your brushes and give you guys some tips on how to maximize the lifespan of your brushes, how to wash your brushes, how to travel with your brushes, how to, you know, snuggle with your brushes, what their favorite shows on Netflix are, all that kind of stuff, okay? Because straight up, high quality brushes, if we're taking notes, if anybody's like me, my fellow note takers here, if you're a note taker, hands up, people, this is one of them. High quality brushes will last you years and years and years and years and beyond if you take proper care of them. So caring for your brushes in the right way and purchasing high quality brushes are overall going to be the best possible thing that you can do. Second to that is using them, which is why we're doing this workshop. Hello! So not only am I going to teach you how to use your brushes, but I'm going to help give you some information that helps you choose brushes that honestly, in the long run, are going to save you money. Like, yes, can you go to Target or where, I think even the dollar store sells brushes. Like, there are a lot of places you can get 99-cent brushes, $5 brushes. There are brushes have brushes, okay? Brushes are brushes. You can find brushes lots of places. However, less expensive brushes, lower quality brushes, are brushes that you're going to go through more often, regardless of how you care for them, because of the way that they're manufactured and because of the materials that are chosen to construct less expensive brushes or lower quality brushes. You're going to go through them fast, okay? So you're going to be buying low quality brushes over and over and over again versus investing in a high quality brush that is specifically made to do a certain task. So in the long run, over a 10-year period, just making that simple decision for going for high quality and taking good care of them. Again, taking good care of them is key. You can buy all the high quality brushes in the world, and if you do not treat them right, they will last you as long as a low quality brush. So if you buy high quality, you commit to learn what I'm going to teach you and take good care of your brushes, you will have those brushes for 10, 12, 15, whatever years, versus buying a lower quality brush over and over and over and over again every 18 months. Okay? So that is tip number one. And do understand that as we wrap up covering these 4 brushes tonight, I'm going to talk about brush cleaning. And in every single one of these 4 parts of this brush extravaganza, I will share with you some brush care tips to help your high quality brushes last as long as they should. In the world of splurge versus save, brushes are something that is splurge worthy, straight up. You guys, if you know me at all, or if you are new to me, let me be very clear about that. Splurge versus save, it's all about the smarter choice. It's not about anything else. And I'll go with whichever is in the long run, I'm going to get the most out of it, straight up. And you can know that I will guide you that way as well. So there are a couple differences with brushes. Tonight we're talking about eyeshadow brushes. Hi, Dory. Dory, look. Dory, look what your best friend did. This was an angle brush with a sponge on the other side. Look what she did. This is in my Skaya's Bellin right this minute. Skaya ate the sponge brush today. So I'm just gonna have to we're gonna use our imagination. Everybody get ready for that. In case you haven't used your imagination enough today. I sure have, but don't worry, I've got this much left and I'm giving it to you guys tonight. So tonight, we're talking about eyeshadow brushes. There are 2 things that you guys will find that brushes are made out of. They are either natural or synthetic. I did not just say a good word and a bad word, straight up. Natural or synthetic. Again, one was not positive and the other negative. 2 things, thank you, April, 2 things brushes are made out of. They are either made out of natural hair or they are made out of synthetic materials for a variety of reasons. A moment ago, I talked about the difference between high quality brushes and low quality brushes. With a lower quality, less expensive product, you're gonna find synthetic hair in the brush across the board. Again, synthetic does not mean bad. Synthetic is not a negative connotation in any way, shape, or form when we're talking about brushes. However, I'd love to drop some knowledge, because after all, that's what we're here for. Natural as in, and I will totally get to that, natural as in no animals were harmed during this broadcast, before this broadcast, or after this. Well, Skaya harmed one of my brushes, but she was not harmed. I gave her a little lecture about eating my stuff, but she's cool. She's downstairs watching America's Funniest Home Videos as we speak. So natural is like, okay, let me use this one as an example. This is made out of pony hair, okay? And by pony, I mean adorable little horse, and it's its haircut, okay? The pony's not getting hurt. Nothing horrible is happening to the pony. Pony gets a little haircut. Boom, shakalaka, we've got an eyeshadow brush. Now, why that is important is because natural hair, and if you see my eyes go, I have some notes just so I don't say anything completely cocoa banana nuts. Natural hair is comprised of 3 parts. From the outside to the inside, it is the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla, which sounds like, you know, mishikadula, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Medulla, that's the inside part of hair. Because of the scales and hollow structure, natural bristles grab and pick up more powder than synthetic brushes. When you press the brush, it will release the powder, which makes the application much more effective. You heard me use the word powder about 3 times there. So when you are talking about, this is the palette I used to apply my eyeshadow tonight. When you're talking about a pressed or loose powder product, there is an advantage to using a natural hair brush versus a synthetic hair brush because you are going to get a more effective, consistent, easily blendable, beautiful application. For my note takers, I'm pausing. The good news is you will be able to come back and watch this on the replay anytime because I know I'm moving quick. Now there are times when a synthetic brush is going to be a superior brush. However, you want to be very choosy and make sure that we're talking super high quality synthetic, okay? Anything like a cream-based product, a liquid-based product, that's about it. Cream, liquid, You want to go with synthetic because that's going to soak up less of your product. And we're going to talk about that next week when we cover face brushes. Okay. So the synthetic does have the advantage when you're using liquid formulas such as concealer, foundation, when you don't want to overdo it. And again, we'll get more into that in our later sessions. Thank you so much, Phil. And just a reminder, yes, we are talking about natural animal hair brushes. And again, no animals were harmed in the making of these brushes. So let's do it, peeps. Let's talk brushes. We're going to start with the deluxe brush. This was the first eyeshadow brush that I started using when I started getting a little bit seriously about stepping up my makeup game. So this is made with pony hair, as I mentioned previously. It is a pretty short brush. This part, not this part. It's a nice long brush, and I will tell you why that's important in just a moment. But it's a pretty short brush, meaning it's pretty dense. The hairs are grouped closely together. It's got a nice edge, but not too thin. The deluxe brush makes it quick and easy to get your base color in place. So this is a fantastic brush. I use this tonight. All 4 brushes that I'm going to talk about tonight are what I used to create this look. So I used my deluxe brush to apply my initial color all over my lid, and then I went back at the end and used it to blend the lid color that's this shiny color right here. So I use it for my base color. It creates, because of its nice dense natural fibers with its short from here to here length, it creates a smooth, strong application of color. So you have to know what you want to do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to think like from the end result backwards. What is your objective? What is your goal? Are you trying to do a smoldering smoky eye? Are you just trying to get your ASS out the door on time for school drop off? What's the goal here? Okay. If it's just like, can we please slap a tiny bit of shimmer on so I look like I slept more than 15 minutes? This will do the trick, baby. If you're talking about a multi-dimensional 3-level smoky eye, join me here on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. We'll talk more about it. You can create an entire eye look. I did use multiple brushes on my eyeshadow tonight. However, you can create an entire look using just this brush. So especially if you are just getting started, if you're not exactly sure where to start, the reason I featured this brush as my first brush to talk about tonight was for that reason. Now I mentioned blending, and this is a brush you could blend with, and that was why I wanted to talk about the length of the brush. That's when that's important. When you're looking, regardless of what brush you're using or what you're doing, when you're looking for control, hold the brush closer to the fluffy end. This is going to give you a lot more control, a lot more precision, and a lot less diffusing. However, when you're blending, diffusing is what you want. So you want to move your hand down closer to this end of the brush so that you have less control and get a softer, more diffused blend. You feel me? Are you guys with me? How are we doing? Am I moving fast? It's kind of a lot. I know, it's so much information, and I'm trying really hard to make sure we stay within a reasonable amount of time so that for those who couldn't make it, you can watch it on the replay. Hello you guys. Hey Desiree. So that is called the deluxe brush. Now, like I said a moment ago, you can use this brush for an entire eye look. This is the palette that I custom created to do my eyes tonight. How on earth, you might be asking, and again, I'm going to talk about cleaning your brushes later, but how on earth can I use all those colors in one brush to create an eye look? Fun little tools like this. This is a bonus tool. It is not a brush, but we're going to talk about it for a hot second. This is a color cleaner. Universe, may I not make a giant mess all over because I don't remember the last time I cleaned this. It's a sponge. It's just whatever this kind of sponge is, and it sits right here in this tin. And what it does is it draws the color off of the brush so that you can use a single brush for multiple colors during the process of applying one eye look. Not one eye, both eyes. Same look, symmetry, folks, not just one eye. Feel me? So little things like this are going to help you get more mileage out of your brushes during application, especially when you're just getting started out and you're kind of playing with ideas and trying to figure out different looks and stuff like that without going, 28 brushes deep, which is totally my life. I'm so glad to hear that, Linda. Yay. I hope that please, you guys, you can slow me down if you need to, but as I'm going, please do not hesitate to let me know what brush you want to hear about the most so that I make sure that I cover it in this four-part, I almost just said fart, and then I did. So there you go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. In this 4-part series, let me know which brush you guys want me to cover most of all. You can post a picture below, or you can look up what the name of it is, and I'll probably know what you're talking about. And then I'd be happy to make sure that I cover the brush that you want to hear about the most during this 4-part series Brush Tool School workshop. So what we just covered was the deluxe brush. I hope you loved it. We're moving on to my first love. So the deluxe brush was one of the first brushes that I started learning when I started learning how to do eyeshadow. This brush was the first one that I felt absolutely head over heels with, and I will tell you why. I have multiples. Here's another one. I have, I think, 3 or 4 of these. This one has like quadruplets in my house. I have a lot of this particular brush because when I see, and again, this one that we're covering next was a 2-sided brush until my dog ate the end of it earlier today. But when you have a brush that has 2 sides like this, I want you guys to instantly think in your head, workhorse. This is a brush that's going to go the distance for you. This is your homie. This brush is in your corner. It's on your side. It wants you to win, straight up. It does all the things. The deluxe brush is a brush you could absolutely do an entire eyeshadow look, but it would lose you at liner. This has the liner side, and I've even done my brows with this side before. Tonight I did eyeliner, you can see, with the liner shader brush. The technique, I believe, is called foiling. What that means is that I sprayed a tiny bit of rose water on this end of the brush, dipped it in my Fervent eyeshadow, and created liner, sherp, 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 just like that. Amazing, right? Plus, just like the deluxe brush, this one's a little bit longer, so a little bit more diffusing, a little bit less intense on the color packing feature, so a little softer. You're gonna get a little bit of a softer look out of using a brush like this. So basically the length of the hair from here to here is going to help you decide, or help you identify the intensity of the color that the brush is most likely to pack on. The longer the hair here, the less intense the color that the brush intends to pack on. The shorter the hair here, the more intense. So the liner shader brush is also made with pony hair. It is a natural hair brush. I did already mention it was my first love. It has similar features, however, a little bit softer. Can't go wrong with that, right? I think my signature makeup look is no makeup, which 5 days out of the week is actually no makeup. But when I do wear makeup, I feel most comfortable and most beautiful when my makeup looks very, very soft and natural. So I like a brush that is a little bit longer and has a little bit more softness to it, and that ability to blend and diffuse and soften up the edges of things. Don't get me wrong, in October I get nutty, but for most days I like a nice, soft, natural look. I want to talk to you guys for just a minute about the technique I mentioned called foiling, specifically this end of the brush. That's something people ask me about all the time. Is it okay to get a brush wet and put it in my dry eyeshadow? Listen, nobody wants you to mess up your eyeshadow, especially me. I love your eyeshadow. I love my eyeshadow. Let's be good to our eyeshadow. It has no negative impact whatsoever. This is a technique I have been using without ever knowing what it was called since I was about 18 years old. This, for the longest time before I discovered liquid eyeliner, was the only way that I would remotely even consider putting eyeliner on anytime, no matter what the look I was creating was. Basically, you can spritz. I mean, sometimes I bring, you know, those little Costco Dixie cups that your kids have. Sometimes I bring those over to my makeup table and just use that to dip and get it wet. You can spritz rose water, or even like a facial toner, or what else? Setting spray. You can use your setting spray for this and spray that on. And then mix powder, eyeshadow, or even your blush. I've done that before. And create liner. So if you have loose pigments or eyeshadows, bring them to life by adding a little bit of water. An excellent, excellent way to use this. And again, you can also use it for your brows. All right, y'all, here it comes. Sadness, the angled sponge brush. All right, so this one, you can see now we're getting longer and longer and longer as we go. This one's even softer. Even longer hair in this section right here. So you're talking more diffusing, more blending, more soft, natural look, right? And the counter side that my dog ate earlier today was a nice sponge. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's a, I'll post a picture of it because she ate it. But it's just a sponge brush, old school, easy, right? This brush is what I used for the look that I'm wearing tonight, right here on the side. I put a little bit of it in this nice dark color, right here. Tap, tap, tap to remove the excess. Pressed it here along the side. Then I'll either rub it on the back of my hand or use my color cleaner to remove any excess color, and then gently sweep across just like that to blend it out. Really easy. Also a brush you can absolutely create an entire eye look with. For the sponge side, when you flip it around and you have a sponge on there that your adorable miniature pit bull did not eat off of your homework, the sponge is great for pressing and packing on color. You're going to get really, when we talk about the density of brushes, because there's no brushy lightness to the sponge itself, you're going to get really intense, beautiful color. So you can use the sponge to pack on the pigment right in this area right here. Had I had a sponge left from my dog, that's what I would have used to apply this shimmery shade right here. The sponge is great because it makes mattes more bold, it makes shimmers more shimmerier, and you can use that tiny, tiny triangle point at the end to really get a beautiful highlight right here in the inner corner of your eye to highlight, which makes your eyes look bigger and more open. Translate that into making you look more awake, which is always a lovely thing. You know what I'm talking about. Basically what a sponge brush, this is the saddest example of all time, but you know, we're making it work, okay? What a sponge brush does is makes everything pop. It's poppy, it's punchy, it's saturated color. So the opposite of that soft, diffused look that I was talking about earlier. And then angle brush is also fantastic for your transition shade, which is right here below your brow bone, right there in the crease. You can really sweep with the shorter side inward, longer side outward, and get a nice gradient between the light shade you're using on your lid and the blendy shade that you're going to use right up there. And that is what I use this for with the eyeshadow look that I'm wearing tonight. All right, last but not least, I have one more brush to share with you guys, and then we're going to talk for just a moment about how to clean and care for your brushes, which is a segment I'm going to include at the end of every single one of these 4 workshops. And remember, you can catch me with part 2 of eye brushes tonight was called The Classics. Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific is called The Next Level. So where am I here? This is the last brush of the evening is a Lash Comb Brow Brush. This, again, I said tonight we are focusing on natural hair brushes. This is metal. This is boar's hair. And again, it's just a haircut. No boars were harmed in the making of this fabulous brush. I use this brush for a couple things. So when I do my brows, you can either use a brow pencil, or if you catch me Sunday night at 7:30, I'll show you the brow brush that I have come to love and adore. When I do my brows, I start with the boar's hair side and I comb up. Then, regardless of whether you're using a liner or a brow palette to sculpt perfect precision brows. Apply the pencil, apply the gel, apply whatever you're using to fill in, shape, and structure your brows, and then come back to this boar's head side. I press it in, do a little wiggle and squiggle, and then comb along the grain. And what that does is help create a more natural look. It kind of separates, adds a little space here and there in really perfect places, and makes my brows appear more natural and less done up. And like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. Wait till October when I go completely off the deep end into very serious makeup. And of course at the holidays when I love a smoldering smoky eye. But like I said, for most days, I like it really light and natural. So using this side, these beautiful boar's hairs, to create a softer, more natural, neutral looking eyebrow or two is awesome. This side right here is used to separate lashes. The mascara I use honestly has the absolute best mascara wand I have ever come across in my life. This is the one that I washed off so you can really see the wand. It has super dense bristles that are firm but also really flexible. So it lifts and separates the lashes really well on its own. However, stuff goes sideways. Sometimes when I'm applying, I apply it a little too heavy-handed, or kid stuff happens, or who knows what, and I might need to just separate and get in there a tiny bit. And that's why these little metal teeth are fantastic, because it can really help you make sure that your lashes are the most lengthened and separated as possible. It's also something great to do if you're going to apply more than one coat of mascara. I highly recommend combing your lashes before you apply the second coat and then after you apply the second coat, just to keep them gorgeous, long, separated, and still a little bit natural looking. Okay, that is our Tool School, sadness, our Tool School Eye Brush Classics for this evening. We talked about the deluxe brush, the angled brush, sponge brush, the liner shader brush, and the lash comb brow brush, okay? So before you guys go, I do want to give you some tips on how to care for your brushes. I'm going to talk about deep cleaning a little bit more when we're here Sunday evening at 7:30. Make sure your alarms are set. But tonight, I want to show you how I clean my brushes much more often. Because a deep cleaning, although it should happen all the time, I usually deep clean my brushes about every other week. I strive for once a week on Sundays, but let me be honest, it happens about every other week. And I'm going to talk to you more about how I care for my brushes by deep cleaning them when we meet up next week. But between deep cleans, let me get my deluxe brush, and I'm going to get a good amount of Fervent, which is this lovely rust shade right here that I have on in the outer V of my eye. I'm going to take this white washcloth. What I use is a brush cleaner. This cleans, sterilizes, and instantly dries your brushes. So not only can you wash them so that they are sterilized, clean, and working to keep your eyeballs healthy, but it dries instantly. I'm going to do it on my lap here. It dries instantly, so right away I will show you. So, all right, we're gonna go like this. It's gonna pull all the color out of the brush. Now, please understand, I am not pressing hard. I'm pressing nice and light because I wanna treat my brushes nicely, especially when you make the investment and purchase high-end brushes that are lifetime, that have the potential to last a lifetime. You always wanna take really good care of them. All right, let's see, I'll keep going here until we get it all off. And as I'm doing this, what's happening is all the color is coming off the brush. There it goes. Now it's not, that's it. No, it's not got any more color in it. And check this out. It's completely dry. So it's nice and soft, totally dry. Like when I wash my brushes, and by that, I mean when I deep clean my brushes, which again, I'm going to go into a little bit more when we meet here on Sunday night at 7:30. When I deep clean my brushes, it takes them about 24 hours to dry. Now, If you're like me, that's not really a problem because as I pointed out before, I have multiples of all my favorites. So if this guy's getting a bath, this guy's over here doing the work. However, if you only have one deluxe brush or one favorite blending brush or whatever it may be, and you wash your brushes, that's a 24-hour wait before your brush is going to be dry and ready to use, which is why I highly recommend a sanitizing spray that cleans your brushes between uses. It's a great way to help your brushes not get super duper funky for when you deep clean them, because that way when you go to do the deep clean, there will be less deep funkiness to clean, which is going to give you the ability to clean your brushes more gently, which is a super, super key ingredient to cleaning your brushes in a way that they are going to last for a long time. Whew. Brushes, you guys, my brushes. What did you think? I want to know what you guys thought. Did you guys find some value in this? Did you learn something new? If you learned something new, put up a number 1 below. If you enjoyed this and it was just a lot of information and you don't even know if you learned something new because it was so much to process, you can go ahead and put a number 2 in comments below. Hey Pamela, and if you are just hopping on, that's a-okay. You guys can totally catch this on the replay. Tonight what I covered was these 4 brushes, one of which I have shoved somewhere and don't know where it went. There it is. So I covered these 4 brushes. These are all eye brushes that I refer to as the classics because these 4 were the 4 that I started out with about 4 years ago when I kind of started learning how to do this. And you know, we've come a long way, baby, but these 4 brushes are still awesome, high quality brushes that you can use to create gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow looks. On Sunday, come on by. And we're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to talk about some more eyeshadow brushes that you can incorporate or that you can use to step up your eyeshadow game. Thank you so much, Pamela. So the 4 brushes that I talked about tonight, I did use specifically these 4 brushes to create this look, which I'm going to tell you was a little challenging because I do tend, the brushes I'm going to show you on Sunday night are kind of my like go-to now. So this was good for me too. I learned a ton in researching all the things that I came to share with you guys tonight, and then I will be sharing with you over the next 3 parts of this workshop, continuing Sunday night right here at 7:30 with eye brushes, the next level. So hopefully you guys found some value in this Tool School session part 1 this evening. If you did, feel free to throw up those hearts, drop a comment below and let me know what was your takeaway? What was one thing that you were like, what? That you had no idea? Like maybe it was that natural hair brushes are better for eyeshadow and synthetic brushes are better for foundation and concealer. That's some news, folks. Beep, 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 beep. New news. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was that the sponge part of the sponge angle brush tasted good to my dog for whatever reason. I don't know. But I would love to hear some feedback. You guys, if you have questions either now or if you think of them in 45 minutes or 3 days from now, you just come right back here and post your questions below. I will get back to you. I will help answer your questions, help you understand your tools a little bit better so that you can use them, enjoy them, love them, and feel more beautiful every day. As soon as I hop off, I am going to tag up above the link to my group, Chrysalis Beauty Collaborative. I would love for you to come on in, join the fun, and see what we've got going on over there. If you found value in this video, do feel free to share it anywhere that you think it would be well received. And tools are important, folks. Yes, your hands are wonderful too. I use my hands for blending cream shadow all the time, as I will show you on Sunday, but having the right tools can really, really help you step your game up to the next level. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight for part 1 of our 4-part workshop, Tool School. I will see you guys right here for part 2, Sunday night at 7:30. Good night. Thank you so much.